again, we are back on Egmont Sochki Tea Talk, Train of Thought, the series of an episode with Mrs. Aditi Gupta. She's a professional marketer and soft skill trainer, and she's also a part of founder of and Mrs. India UK. And I'm sure in developing the overall personality and the communications which are required to go to that level, it only comes from an expert. Ma'am, welcome again back to this Tea Talk Egmont Sochki. Many times we go to the school, and we learn A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yes.
Now, this concept of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, how we can put in form of how to develop a positive personality. First letter A.
First of all, I like the idea of ABCDs because I remember whenever we also used to study, in schools, colleges and all, anything that can be is very concise and crisp and can be framed in a short form or in a consistent chronological order was memorized the first.
Correct.
What is the concept of this? 1, 2, 3. What is the concept of this? ABC, or like 3 C's of communication and all.
Correct.
So for personality development also, like you asked me ABCD to A to G, we have also developed something. Like I have also come up with some quick things that you need to understand, and if these are the things that you remember, you obviously remember A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But what does it stand in terms of having that positive personality?
Correct.
It's about that personality which is being adapted by everyone, which people enjoy being around you, and something which is reciprocated, because like I said that personality, tone, communication has those vibrations. You transfer the energy, so you have to transfer the positive energy. Whether your style might be different, your style might be leadership style, democratic style, XYZ styles, but how do we develop that? So one, of course, the appearance part, which I always say, when you enter a room, people are going to look at you, how you are dressed, whether there is a smile on your face, whether there is not a smile on your face. So appearance is something, how you are dressed and how you are coming and how you are entering will definitely be noticed by people. Let's not deny the fact. It is not that you have to dress good, well, fancy, overdressed or anything, but dressing appropriate is something which is very, very essential. And that is where you need to keep in mind when you are interacting with people in a very non-verbal way. Second is behavior. Of course, the way you behave, the way you are, being kind to people, the way you are trying to train them, mentor them, how are you behaving, how your words or things are making them feel also becomes very important. How do you actually have that attitude and behavioral skills to develop a good team, especially in the corporate world, becomes very important. Third,
you have just spoken in terms of an appearance, and B in terms of an behavior.
Yes.
What does C stands for?
C is the communication. Words speak quite a lot apart from actions. The words are something that will always remember you as a person as well. How you made that particular person feel is absolutely one magical thing that you can do it, right? So the golden words are there, empathetic words are there. How you are trying to develop that relationship is only because of the conversation. How are you communicating what you are feeling? What is the message that you are giving to the other person becomes very important in the corporate world as well. So whenever you are communicating, usage of right words is something which is definitely one part, and the tone and the pitch goes along with it.
Aditi, excellent. You did spoke in terms of A, B and C concept. Now, what does D aspect stands for like?
So as we all know, we are in a digital age. We are now mentally absolutely gone digital, I would say. We can't get rid of the screen times, we can't get rid of the phones and everything, and at the same time the social media is something which is being the motivator or the demotivator for a lot of people. So D stands for the digital personality of a person. Sometimes you will find people in the person, they are very different, and then suddenly you go and check on the social media and they are very different. So how do you balance those digital personality? How do you balance it out? Like if you will go on the LinkedIn, there will be a professional content. If you go on the Facebook, there would be a fun content. And if you are in office, it would be a different personality altogether. How do you blend that authenticity on your digital world also becomes very important. A lot of people in front would say very positive words. But one thing goes wrong, they go to the digital social media and they start oh, I'm like this and this. So you get confused, what kind of person this is.
Correct.
Appears to be
Shows
very
your
nice and all.
personality as such on Facebook.
So please, you have to understand that digital personality is something which you need to be very, very aware of, very careful about it.
Right.
And that is how you present all the elements digitally also.
Correct.
We tend to feel that, oh, it's okay, I can be, doing all of this. No, but everybody is watching you. There can be, my colleagues, there can be my family, friends, and you have no restrictions on the digital social media, right?
Correct.
So you need to consciously understand how positively you are impacting the other people.
Correct.
How are you trying to portray your personality as? Okay, whether you are happy to share a lot of things, or whether you want to be a little reserved, or you want to be a little, careful about sharing all the information on the internet.
Correct.
What kind of photographs can go, what kind of content can go, what kind of quotes can go.
Correct.
And also people need to understand that each and every social media has a different value towards it. That's the reason why all of them are existing there.
Correct.
So while you are comparing Facebook with LinkedIn, if you'll understand, one is probably a lifestyle element and one is the professional element. So a lot of times people mix and match, then people don't tend to take it seriously. Sometimes people just portray a vacations picture on the LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So that is where it showcases your digital personality. Do I want to associate with this person on LinkedIn? No, because they are posting only vacation pictures. Why would I?
So that gives a negative impact on.
So that does impact, negative, positive, I won't say, but that does give a question mark to your building your own brand. Like we say, personal branding, which is very. So that is something which is D, a digital personality.
And second, another letter which you have tossed up is an E. Like what E is all about?
E is one of the most important letters in the entire personality development understanding of a person is emotional intelligence. We have gone through ample things since childhood, and it develops your emotional management system also internally. So emotional intelligence means you're being self-aware. You know how you are and how can someone get impacted by the way you are. So being self-aware is very important for you to understand. What are you trying to do by becoming emotional intelligence is that you are trying to control your emotions. You may get angry, but does it need a reaction or a response is you to decide. How does it impact the other people? How positively you're conveying? Or if you want to even firmly convey something, how do you control yourself? Sometimes you get very, very angry, right? A lot of people, a lot of targets nahi hue hai, studies nahi hue hai, a lot of things, and you are just agitated and frustrated. But do you need to really react in that way or not? So you need to consciously put an effort to become a little more emotionally intelligent by having that self-control within yourself.
Correct.
Again, when we are talking about emotional intelligence, is self-motivation. Discover your why. You need to be having that skill of self-motivating.
Correct.
If you don't motivate, if you don't know the trick of motivating yourself, how will you work towards your own goals? How will you become result-oriented, solution-oriented?
Correct.
Everybody goes through challenges. Everybody wants to do a lot of things, but are they able to motivate themselves to that level? No. So that is something which they should also consider. And the other two elements is empathy. Of course, be careful about people's emotions, and how people feel becomes very important. You are living in a world, you are interacting with humans. Just the way you may feel sad, the other person may feel sad. Just the way you feel happy or like an achiever, the other person might also feel that. So that is something which you always should have, that empathetic attitude towards building your own personality. And the last is social skills. Building the rapport around the people. What to talk, when to talk. And you have to consciously put an effort. Today, all the humans, all the people that I meet are very strong. They are very strong, they are very vocal, they are very opinionated. Okay, but have some constructive discussions, constructive feedbacks. Build that rapport that when you're saying something very strongly or something, convey a right message. Because you will not be living alone. You still would need 4-5 people around you. So it cannot be just family who has no choice.
part of shift.
Ultimately, but
Yeah.
it is about the social skills that you develop around the people. So that is how emotional intelligence becomes very, very crucial in your development, personality development. Right?
It's a beautiful concept tossed by Mrs. Aditya Gupta. She's a professional marketer and a soft skill trainer. Like we have seen A, B, C, D, and E concept. Let's understand about F and G, man. Can you throw a light on F and G? Like
Very quickly, fair play and fair fighter.
Right.
Keep aside the comparisons. Have a fair play with your colleagues. Have a fair play with all the mates that you're working with or you're doing some task. And be a fair fighter. You don't need to, just try to be rigorous or, make it so evident to take the credit and all of that. Be a fair fighter. You will have your fair share of credit, as I say. There is always a way to do things. There is no need to overtake someone else's credit towards you. There is no need to in the corporate culture this happens quietly. You want to pull my leg, then you want to do all of this. I think eliminate yourself from that energy, because that is only developing a negative energy within yourself.
Correct.
And what you get busy with is comparing yourself with someone and competing. But competing, is it for the right reasons or wrong reasons, that you'll have to understand. So always keep a fair play, that I have to do my best, whatever the outcome might be. So become a fair fighter. Rest, I think success is always there. Whenever there is hard efforts, the success will reach to you. So I think that should not be the element that should worry anyone.
Now G.
G is, we have all learned, we are, ultimately being generous and being a giver gives you a certain content. You cannot be always the front runner in everything, but at times you have to be also pass on the baton to let the other person cross the ribbon.
Correct.
So sometimes you have to be giver. Be generous enough, be kind enough to the people. They are going to be associated with you for a longer vision life. And the success cannot be celebrated, without the capability of being generous towards a lot of other things which you develop over a period of time. So maybe people, a lot of times they feel, they take advantage, or people take advantage. I'm too generous, I'm too much of a giver and all. But I think this is very important, because you don't have to again see what the others think about it.
Correct.
It is more about building a positive personality that you want to develop over the period of time. And it is a fruitful way of having that kind of an understanding that at times I will have to be the giver, not just take everything towards me. Yeah.
Great. That's what this TikTok platform is all about. There are prominent personalities like Mrs. Aditi Gupta. She's a Mrs. India Singapore winner and also a professional marketer and soft skill trainer. Now, just to understand in terms of how to develop a positive personality, a simple concept of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm sure, like, if it's in a very simplified way where she had put this module across. A stands for appearance, B for behavior, C for communication, and D for digital personality, which is more important in this technological world. And E is an emotional intelligence, and also in terms of an F, fair play and a fair fighter, and you have to be generous and always a giver. Like I'm sure this concept of A, B, C, D, E, F, G is going to help our target audience in building the overall positive personality and their mindset. Do catch up with Mrs. Aditi Gupta on our next show of TikTok Egmont Source. Till then, go to www.tiktok.net. Subscribe and like the channel as much as you can. And thanks a lot for being part of the show. I'm sure this is a unique concept which we have developed, and it's going to help the masses at last. God bless you. Thank you very much.